Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're doing a vacation home for Candy the mouse. The mice are definitely not my favorite in this game. However, I liked her prompt. She wanted a crafty cabin and we definitely delivered. I chose that plot that's like on the beach, but there's also pine trees in there, like the cedar trees. I kind of forget sometimes that plot exists, and I really like how it came out overall. I think that it was a good mixture of like rustic but also at the beach. Anyway, we have a lot to talk about. I am back from my trip to Dallas. I got back a couple of weeks ago at the time that this video is going out. I got back almost a week ago at the time that I'm recording this. I am pre-recording. I'm trying to like get ahead of the content calendar here. I got a cold and it really sucked, you guys. So let me start from the very beginning. I am probably going to be talking about this over the course of the next like few videos that go out. So be sure to watch them if you want to hear all about my trip, because I can't fit it all into less than 10 minutes. So I left on July 2nd. I had a flight in the afternoon. The flight was fine, although the guy sitting next to me was so weird, no offense, and I know he's not watching this video because I didn't tell anybody I'm a YouTuber. However, so we're sitting there. I was in like Delta's comfort class, which is like more legroom or whatever. I had the window seat. He was in the middle, and then, you know, obviously there was somebody in the aisle. It was a very, very full flight. It was going from Boston to Dallas. It was direct. He had the tray table down and he had like a coffee on it. I don't know if there was anything in his coffee cup, but I was eyeing it because I was very concerned, because he just sat there with the thing in the little cup holder in the tray table, and then he was like on a phone call because like he had headphones in and he was like actively having a conversation with somebody on his phone. We are about to leave. They close the plane door and the flight attendant, you know, tells him to put his tray table up. He did. Thank God, because I was very concerned about that coffee spilling on me. I was not about to say something because you never know, like people can be really weird. I was thinking of calling the flight attendant over like with the call button, but they're pretty good about, you know, dealing with that stuff anyway when they see it. So he puts the thing up, we take off, we reach cruising altitude. So Delta has free Wi-Fi now on like literally all of their flights, like every flight. I didn't know this. As soon as we hit cruising altitude, he whips out his laptop and he's like shopping on Amazon. I think like he was adding stuff to his cart in preparation for Prime Day, because this was prior to Prime Day happening. I don't know, but I could see him because he was sitting close to me and his laptop was close to me. I could see that he was on Amazon and that he was adding stuff to his cart. And then he was like going back to like a document. I don't know if it was like a Word document or a Google Doc, but I just saw him like highlighting text and typing and whatever. I couldn't see like what he was writing, obviously, and I wasn't like intentionally spying on him, you guys. My left eye, because like that's the only one I can see out of. I have no vision in my right. My eye moves constantly. It's called nystagmus. It's a pain in the ass. So half the time my eye was moving, I could see his computer screen. It was literally right there. So anyway, flight goes fine. La-di-da. I'm sitting there. I'm like, you know, texting on my phone or whatever. And my phone battery is so bad. I need to get a new phone. I'm going to get like the new iPhone probably when it comes out later this year. I have an iPhone 11. It's time to get rid of it. I already had the battery replaced once. I'm not doing it again. Anyway, so we start to descend into Dallas and he still has his tray table down and he's still on his laptop. So again, the flight attendant comes by and she tells him to put the thing down, and he does, but he is still holding his laptop like in his lap, like in his hands. I don't know what was so important about that laptop, because like it came out of the bag that he had under the seat in front of him. So the whole time we're descending, he's just sitting there with his laptop in his lap, holding it like it's a silver platter or something. It was so weird. So we land, and of course, the bin that my carry-on is in is stuck. So I had a carry-on, you know, a roller bag, like on wheels, the hard side luggage, and I had my backpack with me. I was going for a week and a half. I also checked a bag. So there was this old man, like an elderly man, sitting in the seats behind me, him and his wife, I think, and he tried to open the bin, and the flight attendant kept telling him to stop because like maintenance had to come. And he got mad because I guess he worked for Delta for over 30 years, and he was like, they don't know that there's like a trick to opening this bin. So I'm sitting there because I had booked a shuttle to go from the airport to the hotel for this conference. And I also needed like an assist person to get me from the plane to the baggage and then to the shuttle. The meet and assist guy, he was a lovely man. However, I don't know what planet he was on. So I booked my thing through Super Shuttle because for the American Council of the Blind, they had like a contract with Super Shuttle to do pickups and drop-offs or whatever at Fort Worth Airport and Love Field. I flew into Fort Worth. So I tell the guy, you know, I have to go to baggage. And then I was like, I need to get a car, like a shuttle. I'm going to Super Shuttle. And he was like, oh, we don't have that anymore. And you guys, when I tell you the color drained from my face, we were walking and I was like, well, you definitely do. I booked it. I have the confirmation email. Like I'm taking the Super Shuttle. It was called Z-Trip, but it was like Super Shuttle owned them or something. I don't know. We go to baggage. He keeps asking me what my other bag looks like. And it looks exactly like my carry-on, but bigger. It's purple. I got the luggage set on Amazon. I don't know what brand it is, but it's pretty good. And it's purple. It's hard side. And I have like a giant luggage tag on it of Minnie Mouse rolling a suitcase behind her. It's like a silhouette. So I keep telling him, I'm like, it's like this, but bigger, like the exact same bag. Doesn't the luggage come out? And there are two purple bags. There's a soft-sided one, and then there's mine. So he grabs the soft-sided bag, and thank God I can see, because I was like, no, like it's the one next to it, it's the other one. So he gets me my hard-sided luggage, and the shuttle was literally right there. Like it was right outside, doors open, waiting. So I get in, and then we're waiting for apparently like another family, because it was a shared service. So they had to go, for some reason they flew into Fort Worth and then they had like another flight they had to catch, but it was out of Love Field. So we had to go between the two airports, which was fine because Love Field is closer to the hotel that I was at than the Fort Worth airport was. So we get there and this family, I don't think they'd ever been to Texas. I think they were literally just going through, I don't know, I'm not familiar with anything. They didn't know where they had to go. They had to go to Southwest. So the driver gets out and he takes them. It was a family of 4. It was like 2 parents and young kids. I think the parents are probably in like their 40s or something. I don't know. So he takes them to where they need to go. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, what the hell is going on? The driver was really nice. We chit-chatted like the whole way. It was fine. I got to the hotel. My boyfriend, bless him, had been there since early that morning because he was going to work. He works remotely. So he got to the hotel. We had booked a room with 2 queens because that was the only room we could book for the convention rate. Like there were no other options. So they were like, oh, do you want to upgrade to a king room at no extra cost? Because last year when it was in Jacksonville, the king rooms were $10 more a night, which is a ripoff. So they put us in a king room. They gave us a microwave complimentary. It was a really nice room. It was on a high floor. We had a pretty okay view. It was just like a view of the highway with like the bridge or whatever, but it was fine. And it had like a walk-in shower. It wasn't an accessible room. There was like a lip to get into the shower. We didn't need an accessible room, but it had a shower instead of a shower tub combo, and it was pretty nice. The hotel overall was nice. But then 2 days later, I got sick, and it was terrible. More about that in the next video. I am also pretty happy that I got the shuttle because like my boyfriend got in early. He got in, I think like at around 8 o'clock in the morning or 7 something in the morning Central Time. And he took Lyft. He booked a Lyft from the Fort Worth airport to the hotel, which was about a half hour-ish away depending on traffic. And he paid $50 for the Lyft. The shuttle service that they had was $50 round trip from the Fort Worth airport because it was a group rate discount or whatever. I just took it one way. So I paid like a flat rate of $30 because it included the tip. When we went back to the airport when we were leaving, him and I split a Lyft, and that was fine because it was still cheaper than when he took it to the airport. We are done. Like I said, I am really happy with how this turned out. I think it's really cute. I said this in Ike's Vacation Home ice cream shop that I think I got my groove back when it comes to Happy Home Paradise. I'm like thrilled. We're thriving. As usual, we got 40,000 Poke for our work. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to hear more about what happened on this trip, please watch the next Happy Home Paradise video that I'm going to put out next week, unless it is the future and that's already come out, in which case go watch it. This will be over several different videos, that and the Sims houses that I've been building. If you're interested in hearing about my trip, it was quite a thing. Anyway, like I said, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye.